Okay, this is the version 2 and final, the one we're actually going to release of the MP5 magazine jigs. This is an armorer's level tool. You can use it if you're not an armorer, but if you wrench on guns for a living, and you'll have guns. This is like the worst example you can find out, like 9 pallets of guns. So, make sure our gun is empty. Weapon's clear, weapon's safe. Tools you're going to need, I recommend a 3/16 punch, but you can do whatever you want. Non-marring side versus marring side tapping hammer and a punch, because you have 2 hands, not 10. And rear pin, front pin. This is compatible with basically all models. Put a little pressure on the back so the spring helps you get the stock off. Take your lower off. This is separated, that doesn't matter. Take your furniture off. Keep all your pins in one area. And you're isolating the workspace around the environment in question, like so. This will come with a zip tie, but it's got a release button, so you don't have to cut it because you can reuse it. You have the main tool itself. You have this, which goes in place of the magazine, and this is only if you goof up and overdo it, because you can actually stick this down in here. You'll see one side has a gentle flare and the other one's straight. If you over compress it and the mag doesn't want to go in, you can just doink, 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 doink. But we won't need that because we don't plan on screwing it up. And the zip tie also doubles as a quick handy dandy taker off thing, but we're going to leave that on. And you have a tool here that has a pin that basically holds this so it can't fall out. In the previous version we had, this could fall out, and it's a pain in the rear end to adjust. And it can contract all the way in. You'll notice this has the flare cutout for the magazine catch, which actually I think I need to take this out because that goes in a second. My suppressor has a bad habit with cigarettes, so we're going to let him indulge. While hitting your magazine release, pull that out, go back to the position. There's a catch in the back here, which you're going to just kind of go over and down, and then you're going to pre-tension this. I'm basically bringing this up to this edge like so, and getting it right about there. I'm going to insert this. Don't need a lot of force. Oh yes, and we're going to need a wrench. I believe it's going to be, you can use a 9/16 or metric or American work on these. However, get that back where we wanted that. Right about there, and we're trying, the aim here is to go right below the lip there. Get it where we want it. And it's loose, it's loose, it's loose. And now it starts to tighten. Depending on how loose your mag is, you can go a quarter turn at a time. And you're not going to want to leave it there, you're going to want to back it off to relieve pressure so you can do this, because you have to take this all out to check to see if your work is actually working. So, you push down my paddle mag release. Oh, not really need a bolt here to do that. Of course, this thing is brand new and not broken in like the one we've used 100 times. Let me see something here. I'm going to do a little cheating. There we go. These will break in after 6 or 7 guns, or you can just take some sandpaper and kind of file around them. Now we're going to take this off, and We're going to try the mag. And let's put this all back together first to see how it actually looks, feels, and fits in the hand. This works the same on select fire weapons for those of you that have their 702s, FRTs, anything that'll load and shoot the MP5 pattern of weapon. Okie dokie. And we go there. When your guns are brand new, obviously they're not going to be nearly. The MP5 being a stamped sheet metal gun, it will break in like so. Notice I'm not wailing on it. Okay. Function check. Now, in the truth, the magazine, it was flippity floppity. And you can see the difference. It's got a little bit of play, but that's not enough. And I could sit here and do this over and over and over until it's super perfect, but that will not compromise accuracy. When your mag is moving an inch or 3/4 of an inch or more, you've got a problem. But the mag seat, you hear the click, weapon fires, and that's it. So now you know how to use it. So that's that. But basically you get the mag adjustment tool. This says up in relationship to the weapon, but the weapon will have to be oriented upside down. And then you have the actual insert. And again, I recommend maybe just going over these edges with some sandpaper, because they break in, and we've tested like 30 of these before we actually went ahead and released one and beat the ever-loving you-know-what out of them. And you can hang that on a hook on your bench, and you know, every MP5 you have that has a magazine problem is now not an MP5 with a magazine problem. And it's made out of an ultra-strong, lightweight polymer resin, so you're not going to break it. And there's a captive pin in here so that the piece can be popped out with a pin punch if you screw it up, but these come pre-installed and set up. And as you tighten it, the first generation, they would fall out and get lost, and it goes back and forth on its own path, so it's therefore captive. So that's it.